So the what my father supplied me with very well over the years has always been tools.
Sure.
Can't do the work for me, but he supplied me with tools to assist me to get to that professional level of creating.
Yeah.
So whether it's a go-kart or a gun or whatever we're doing, there's a certain level of aptitude required to use these tools, but put the time in, it can be very rewarding, and your precision can increase drastically in terms of what you can produce in a given time, so your speed, but as well as your quality.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so we're already digging into it. Just real quick, Brown Duke Gun Show, JP Garcia here today. Very, very special place for me. My gun has made it home. I am here with Brandon Strayer of Infinity Firearms. He's graciously given me some time on a Saturday to chit chat and catch up, and it's been a great morning so far. And the chatting and catching up hasn't stopped. We finally turned on the cameras.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So thanks again for letting me come here.
I really appreciate you coming. And
great to see you.
It's been a few years.
It's been too long, is what it.
Yeah, probably just over 4. But no, it's great to talk to you. That's why I opened up the opportunity.
Well, yeah. Thanks.
Because I really appreciate the meeting your family and seeing them down in New Orleans. Really was special for me, and you wanting to put that effort to see what the racing was about. So that's cool.
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny. My 2-3 days ago, I had one of the iPhone has memory pictures or whatever. So my daughter was sitting in your son's cart, and it came up as a memory. I'm like, oh, of course it did. Cool. They must know that we're coming out here.
Yeah,
so.
It's coming back soon. So it's a little later in the year, but I'm looking forward. It's a lot of the drivers' favorite track down there. So
it was fun.
It's cool.
It was really fun. And it's funny, on the way back, it was a big memory for us, because after we hung out with you guys for that 2 days, we drove back, and it was the first time the kids saw bald eagle, because it just kind of flew across and landed on the middle of the highway. I actually stopped. Like, guys, that's a bald eagle. And they were just like, wow. Of course they were, gosh, okay. He was 6 and she had to have been 4, So, because what was Dusty? He was like 3, I guess.
I think
like that. 3, maybe 4.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was right around then when we got him a car. I think he would just turn 4.
Yeah, that green and white one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, he raced that for a couple of years, and
now he's
on this red stuff. So, but yeah, he's doing well, enjoying it
for sure. But we're looking forward to getting back with you. Actually, when I showed my daughter that picture, she said, "Well, I want to race too now." I'm like, "Oh boy." Okay. I was like, "Well, will you still have your stuff?" She's like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah.
He's 8, so realizing like, okay, when's the time? It's like, oh man.
Yes, I don't see how some of the other families, the kids play ball sports as well as drive, and I'm like, I don't know how to do both. So, but he's stayed busy at doing this, and it's more time than we have as a family to just do this well. So absolutely,
well, and he loves it.
An effort.
Clearly you can see from the pictures he loves it.
No, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope he looks back in 15, 20 years and sees the effort put in for him to be able to do it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun for us as a family right now. So grandparents included.
Oh yeah, they come with you guys too, right?
Well,
that's
usually,
so awesome.
Usually the grandparents are required to make it happen, whether it's watching the dogs because we're going out of town, or just helping us prepare.
Yeah.
So everybody has to get involved. I don't think you can do it as a 1 or 2 man show.
That's why they have pit crews, right?
Yep.
In big racing, you need a community, and that's really cool that your family digs in as the community to come support. That's really cool. Well, we had fun. I can tell you, we actually maybe the next 2 or 3 weekends we would go out to the local go-kart track and go around.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So they were still too tiny to drive. Well, my son, he was old enough to drive, but too tiny, so I had to go with me. But yeah.
No,
it was fun. It's a cool thing. The whole go-kart racing scene, I'd never been exposed to that before, and it's wild, man.
Similar to the shooting. It's very niche market stuff, but there's a bunch of kids with higher aspirations, obviously,
Sure.
than where they're at. But it's a stepping stone for them to get the basics of how to make speed, discipline. But it's hard. It's very difficult.
Yeah, they got to work.
They have to work very hard, and find at the national level that there's an elite crowd of parents that produce an elite crowd of young kids,
Sure.
Who really are ability to learn and strategize at a young age is really important, I think, in the grander scheme of development.
Well, I think the work, it all gets down to, when you love something, especially you're teaching, our kids are like the same age, right? And as a parent, you want to teach them, hey, you love this thing. You want to get better, you got to work at it. There are steps to getting better, and where you want to go, you have to put in the hard work to reap that level of reward. My son, he's into basketball. It's been 2-3 years now. He's been super into basketball. He wants to make the school team, the whole thing, right? And so he's going into 5th grade this year, and it's the first year. So in Louisiana, where we're at, they don't let you have school sports until 5th grade. So it's the first time he's actually able to go out to the team, but for the past couple of years, we've been doing these basketball camps, playing in these little leagues and stuff like that. And you can tell, like, the practice it's difficult. There are days where he's just lying down on the court. Oh, I'm so tired and blah, 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 blah. But then, this week we were in Houston, right? And the camp that he was in, all they do is play 5-on-5 all day, every day, 5 days a week, 9 to 3, right? And so his team, who are just a bunch of random kids, got put together, made it to the finals of the camp, and it was pretty competitive from what I understand. They went to like triple overtime, and the anguish, and they didn't win, but they went to triple overtime, and he missed 2 or 3 layups that could have put him over. He was so mad, like he couldn't talk about it. He didn't want to talk about it at all, right? And then finally, after 2 different meals, he opened up. It's like, I missed so many layups and blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's good that you learned this. This is how you learn what you need to work on to make the team. Now we go work on these layups and all of this stuff. It gives him, something to aim for. It's the same, I'm sure, with Dusty and your coach. I've
been fortunate. The ball sports haven't taken over his focus. But he comes home with a football from school because the other kids play the ball sports, obviously.
Sure.
He goes to school with, and I'm like, oh, well, we'll do that later. We gotta go drive now. So the constant challenge is trying to prepare him every day just to make sure he touches it, and is involved with working on it. But I didn't start racing till I was a little older. So my involvement with it was greater. I could do more stuff physically.
Sure.
But yeah, at this age, he's engulfed in it. He's starting to understand it. He sets tire pressures. Can't pick it up yet. But I make him pick up one corner for me every morning.
Yeah.
So the effort that he puts in towards it, I think more natural for him moving forward, and just a basis for, this is the baseline for winning, and this is how hard I got to work to get better.
Right.
So he's finding that out now at 7. It'll be good for him later in life, and I think there's a lot of top competitors in the shooting sports that had a similar upbringing or approach to their childhood, that are world champions now. So there's a formula there that works, obviously, but he's got a huge head start with the family support behind him, and obviously the technology support doesn't hurt when you're dealing with mechanical things in racing, or whether it's guns or go-karts.
Or go-karts, yeah. Well, I was going to say the tooling, we were talking about tooling off air and having the right tools for the job and all of that stuff. I mean, you have access to, if not all the right tools already for that particular sport, I think.
Oh, pretty. Yeah, we're learning.
Yeah.
Learning, of course. But yeah, there's an experience factor that I don't take for granted because yeah, I was complete shit for a long time, even with the good tools.
Yeah.
So you gotta learn how the tools work. It takes a long time to get a baseline for what the order of operation should be for perfection in the process.
Yeah.
But yeah, always constant challenge.
Yeah, no, I get
That's
it.
what racing is fun because you're
You're
first
always
this
pushing
week
something.
and you
Yeah.
can be last next week. It just takes one air.
It's very similar to shooting
so-
in that everybody's always trying to get better. I mean, I guess that's with every sport, but I mean, it sounds like the flux of who's winning the match and who's winning the race, especially until you get to the professional levels. It kind of
No, it well
know,
when you're on the
slays.
edge, obviously, if you're going to push that hard, you can make mistakes. So very similar to the shooting sports. It's I love the head-to-head aspect of racing.
Yeah.
I think the shooting sports miss that some because there's some strategy. Obviously, you get a chance to be side by side with somebody at a competition.
Mhm.
But the same thoughts and same approach applies. I think winning either in terms of a mental approach and having the consistency because they're both timed events at the end of the day.
right. Yeah. So I you know, I want to get to a lot of some folks had sent me with questions. They're easy ones.
Okay.
But, before we get into that, I think that it's probably good. So I think my crew and our crew, people who watch the show, generally know my feelings about Infinity and how I've talked about your pistols in the past. But to bring you up to speed, because you probably don't know, what I've told people is that when you look at the 2011, there are kind of two paths, right? There's the staccato path, STI path. That's factory guns that are mass market guns that get tuned to USPSA IPSC specifications. There are a lot of very talented gunsmiths that do that, and they do that really well, taking parts, putting them together, and tuning them, and making them run, and having a great functioning pistol, right, for competition. And then there's Infinity, right? And I think that what you guys have done, what I've learned about the process, and we'll want to get into that in just a little bit, but how you guys pick your materials, how you guys put them together, you're able to make your own parts all the way down to the springs, the screws. So you have that advantage of tooling and know-how and knowledge of metallurgy and all of these things that are in my head that, to me, put Infinity Firearms on a different track than kind of the rest. So that's my thought, and that's what I tell people.
Oh, thank you.
What do you think about
that's flattering. I appreciate it. No, that's a very positive point of view. No, I don't know it any other way. So I don't want to seem ungrateful, but yes, having the ability to make your own parts is huge. Not having a more of a corporate structure for approval, and kind of swinging for the fences sometimes. Obviously, learning through trial and error is common. But that is a testament to being in business for over 30 years now. Is getting it right more than you get it wrong.
Yeah.
So the having the tools to make the parts, to control what everybody else doesn't give a shit about that I do,
right,
is important. So that took us to the next level, and I think we accomplished that around 2009. Built a new factory shortly after that. Been out here since then. But yeah, pushing more, I'd say, authentic creativity and what we want to build has been a blessing for us here over the past 2 years or so.
Yeah.
But before we make stuff as we had time, and now we're making more stuff that we want to make because we're creating the time.
Yeah.
Is the balance. So yeah, 3 new textures coming. Obviously, lots of variations of how
I got to view those. Those are cool.
Yeah, lots of variations on how to approach manufacturing and textures and patterns. But yeah, like you said, creating and making your own parts unburdens the process to what do you want to do today. So that's been cool because we can not only change the look, change the materials. So a new one coming out this next drop's called Bonkers.
Okay.
Really something unique. I don't want to tell you, it's going on 6-7 years old. The manufacturing process and just how to create it and what to use and
right.
And I kind of know how old it was based on I bought a truck about the same time we did it. And
nice.
They had a process in their manufacturing for adhering the panels together. And I thought we could do the same. But my father's always been big in using dissimilar materials. I say that in the sense of frame having a different material for the rails than the actual material for the dust cover body of it. We do that with all our titanium and aluminum. But I really like the ability to accent a component.
Yeah.
With a different material or to highlight it with a different color or different finish. So Bonkers step in that direction. And it's exciting for us because we've never taken this direction before, and it's more of an artistic approach to it.
Nice.
But no logos, very clean, very basic, but yeah, back to the automotive feel. And and I was a kid in the factory and called them mud flaps, but it's got a nice wide body look to it.
Okay, so. Cool. I'll be interested to see that one.
Yeah,
that'll be good. Yeah,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see the response. So if people love to hate it, then I did my job.
There you go. But people will still I mean, the designs are awesome. They're always, the artwork. The artwork is always really cool. What comes out of here, it's always surprising. Even the guns that you've made for me, just like, man, wow, look at that one. Cool. And so, my open guns, they are still rolling, still there. But when people look at the designs, particularly this last one with the latest comp design, it's, the way you were able to do blast patterns, the color, all of this, really cool.
Yeah. No, it's fun to have a variety, and I think some people look at it as a science. If they're listening to this, I hope they understand. There's no science. That we kind of pick and choose based on what we like, what we think is cool. Yeah, we can look at all the analytics of how many people tried to buy this one, how many people tried to buy that one, price of this one. Here's the price of that one. We want a moderate price.
Yeah,
it hasn't mattered too much at the end of the day. When we thought about doing baby bones, it's like, well, we haven't done a 45 comp gun yet, and it's like, well, what else would we add to a 45 open gun?
Right.
Of course, let's make it titanium.
Sure.
Okay, so then we built upon that and polished the grip. I like the skulls. Part of the artwork creation. I have brilliant help at all the gun cases, the artwork creation. So don't, this isn't my show in terms of my ability there.
Right.
But I'm very open to whatever Chris Hawes' his name, whatever Chris wants to create, and then we build upon that. So some of the themes and guns that we've done in the past are Skellington, for example. Yeah. That's Chris's name. He did a little Photoshop layout of what he'd like and did the suppressor. So that was the first suppressor threaded base design that we did. But yeah, just an evolution of taking his art and how can we incorporate it either in the gun case that's really fun for us or in the actual design of the pistol. So and this bonkers design. Actually started as he called it a Maui Polynesian
Okay.
gun, and it had some characters on it and scroll work, but just the shape of it, just the lines of the gun were very unique. So kind of got away from the Polynesian and the Maui themed gun and went a different direction with it. But the basis is still there from, I said it's this old because that's when Chris did the first one.
Right.
But Zooties was another 5.4 that we did with some of Chris's original scroll work and design in there, and did a two-toned version of that contrast with scroll work. So, but yeah, it's a unique balance of taking what other people wouldn't look at as a gun theme or a gun design, and trying to create it. But everything we do is all CNC. So the process of laying it out, taking the artwork from an Adobe product into a CAD product, and then into G code and actually producing it takes a lot of time. Takes some brilliant people, but the speed of which we do it, I think is unique, just because there's such few people involved to get it to reality and to make it a finished product.
Yeah.
So we can do that fairly quickly, and I think we're on pace to do close to 40 new designs this year.
Wow. Okay. Amazing.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But we're like, as soon as we're taking pictures behind me, better be ready to produce the ones that we're going to drop in 6-7 weeks from then.
Right.
So it's got to be a constant battle. And I try to get up on the designs and kind of like you would maybe with writing a book or cooking something. If you had time to put it on the back shelf and say, let me think about this some more.
Yeah.
And we kind of do that a lot. And
iterate on it, make changes, see if you still like it. Yeah.
Now it's time to push it forward.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a rush at the very end, but a lot of times we have the ability to get some ideas out there and some inspiration, and then filter through what we want to produce and say, this is a group of 5. Always have one open gun right now. Don't know if that'll always be. Some demand, obviously, from the IPSC community still for the iron sight.
Oh, the limited guns?
Yeah, limited guns, standard guns. But that's very small. And when we did one, all the domestic customers are calling, can you put an optic on that? I almost felt bad. I'm like, so you bid on it. You didn't want it the way it was. You want to change it immediately. Right. Why am I building iron sight guns?
Right.
But that was just domestically, and then the international market, of course, still has their sporting applications.
They'll pick it up.
But yeah, after we did the design for Gianni, haven't done another one since.
Sure.
But just based on what people are screaming for me to produce, and
if you stop building open guns, I'm in trouble.
Well, no, I like the open guns, and I think it's a unique platform, but it's not practical for most users.
No, it's not practical.
So no, it's not. Somebody has to go buy ammo, and I told you we built a gun for a certain NASCAR. Like he wants one too.
Oh, he's getting an open gun?
Oh, he's getting an open gun.
Are you serious? That's amazing.
But I'm gonna nurse him through the ammo. Here's your ammo.
Yeah.
Here's our maintenance. Here's our. But unless you have somebody to hold your hand through it, don't start an open division and think, because at that point you have to have a mechanic.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I wasn't his mechanic, he couldn't go race. And most shooters, unfortunately, are 7-year-old mechanically.
Right.
And so if it's more than cleaning, the reloading, that's a whole nother art. That's a science in its own. So quickly ruin your gun and ruin your day.
Yeah, absolutely.
With your reloading, obviously. So in the 9mm market, limited optics, easy. Just pull the trigger and pour some more oil on it, and So the demand is very high there for us.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, the amount of people that still want ports, they're not as high. So they're not interested in a limited optic. They're interested in a cool gun with ports.
Okay. Interesting. So even with that, the competition market being what it is, there are still people who want guns that 9mm limited optic style gun with ports. They don't care. They're not competing. They just want that kind of a gun.
Yep.
Man, I bet it shoots flat. I've never shot one.
No, then that's what the Baby Bones was developed around. But on the there are options on our drops. But one of the options is always with the hybrid barrel. You want 2 ports. You want it suppressor threaded without ports. You want it just no ports, plain. So options for every application there. But I think Staccato understood that when they did their design with the integrated comp into the dust cover. And it's a unique market, but it's nothing new for us building open guns for a long time. So you won't see me doing with the frame or dust cover of the frame underneath the compensator, just for the mechanical unlocking function of the gun.
Right.
But Baby Bones is an example of what I would call a functional open gun, in whatever caliber we want. We're offering it in 45 and 9 this time because I think that the core customer.
Yeah,
it was a nice split. Nice to see 45
hold
its own.
Wow.
So we had doing 15 of them. Ended up with
really
645s. So see the demand for a big.
I wouldn't have expected that many people wanted a 45 in that type of gun.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Fun to shoot. So I'm very excited to see what Jake 1911 Syndicate does with the video.
Oh yeah.
But a very aggressive, sharp recoil, obviously, to be expected
45.
With it's 39 ounces, but it doesn't move. So it's kind of like truly like a open major.
Yeah.
But the impulse is a little more like a getting hit with a freight train.
Yeah. I can imagine. So, so the one thing I wanted to mention is that, and something I tell everybody is that you guys are able to do such cool designs and artwork is what we've been talking about. And it's always really cool, but also the guns always work. Right. And I know that I'm not going to call out any other specific builders, but I know that there are other builders who can do artwork. Artwork is to taste. So I like your stuff, but all right, having some technical difficulties here, but we'll get back to the show in just a minute. Wanted to thank Brandon Strayer and Infinity Firearms again for hosting me, having me out to the factory, and letting me catch up with them for several hours on a day. It was a great time. Subscribe to them on their socials. Well, you're going to get the news on the latest drops, all of that stuff, and latest happenings with team shooters. I know a lot of times they'll repost that stuff on Instagram, so check them out, sviguns.com, or on Infinity_Firearms on Instagram, and you can look up Infinity Firearms on Facebook. You'll be able to find them. Again, I can't thank Brandon Strayer and the rest of the Infinity team enough, not just for letting me come out, but for his friendship and their support for me as a shooter over the years. So thank you for that. Also wanted to just shout out to our normal show sponsors, Sentry Defense, Sentry Manufacturing, Talkback Snacks, and of course, Blake Miguez, friend of the show, who is running for U.S. Senate. Please support him in his Senate bid. You can find him at blakemiguez.com to give money, give your support, all of that stuff. He's a two-way advocate, friend of the show, fantastic shooter, USPSA advocate, all of those things. In my opinion, you can't find a better senator than him. So please also consider supporting Blake Miguez at blakemiguez.com. So thank you guys, and back to the show. Okay. So anyway, now what I was getting at is that the design's always really cool. Artwork is to taste, so it's up to you whether you think it's cool or not. I think they're cool. I may be biased, but I think they're cool. But at the end of the day, the gun runs, and it always runs. And there are other builders who can do other things cool designs, but getting the gun to run is suspect, right? So how do you do that? I mean, not to like give away trade secrets, but like in general, like it just seems like when you get
I understand.
an Infinity gun.
But I think that goes all the way back to the original issue for most of them is they buy parts. Yeah. They don't make their own parts. So your reliability is based on the quality of this part.
Or stacking tolerances.
Yep, exactly. You have tolerances A, B, and C from different vendors, and you do what you can with what you have. There's limited refinement that can be done, but if you have control over all of them, have control over the process, you could actually spend the extra time and the extra money without getting eaten alive at the profitability sense.
Right.
Okay. Then would you do it? Yes, I'm going to do it. I don't want your gun back here.
Right.
JP, I don't want to see your gun ever.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
That cost me more money than if I did it right the first time, in my opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
If you blow it up, that's fine. Wear it out, that's fine.
Yeah, that's on me.
Okay. Those are 100%. But otherwise, I would rather be able to see you replace springs, because that whether it's a motor or a gun, springs are going to wear off first. It's just a given. After that, there's some consumables that we can throw stuff at to keep the gun running and maintained. The base components need to live for a very, very long time for you to be happy and want to come back and buy your fourth open gun. But two, for me to be functional as a business, to be in business for 30 years.
Right.
Okay. No, I don't. The level of manufacturing has drastically changed since 1996 or 1994 when it started. But they went from making a frame and a polymer grip to some other components on an EDM, hammer, sear, triggers eventually, and then it kind of just expanded into making the whole gun was the project, I guess.
Yeah.
So that all happened as I grew up. I just grew up in it, and it evolved around me. So my familiarity with it has always been part of my daily existence. So,
it's just been that way. Yeah.
It's sometimes I take it for granted and difficult to train people just because it's why don't you get this? Why don't you understand? But yeah, the difference I think is my father wasn't a gun person. I don't consider myself a gun person. What it takes to race is reliability.
Right.
Okay. And again, I don't have the accountant yelling at me, why are you buying this? I'm like, this is my insurance. This is the material that we're not going to hear from JP because he cracked this slide. His frame's not going to break because I have an extra process of cryo just to get those atoms even closer together, make sure this material is as strong as possible for this application. We've changed the barrel materials from what the industry standard is just to improve the life of the barrel, and in turn, you're always chasing. I mean, you're always going to be chasing the next link. So once the barrel doesn't wear out, what's the next thing wear out? And so you can go downstream, but hopefully we've gotten to a point where we're downstream enough to where things that are going to break on your pistol before you wear it out, I can send to you in an envelope, and hopefully you can change them out with a little bit of to do a complete breakdown and clean, replace parts. So, but there's always parts that are hand fit, tons of hand fitting.
Yeah.
Wear my hands out every day. So, want your fingertips to bleed? I got a job for you.
Yeah.
So, there's several guys in there that want to spread the load, but we wear our fingers out. And that's also the difference you see in a lot of our production from other manufacturers is the handwork. There's you can't hide it, can't substitute it. The time is the time. It takes this long to do this job, and to do it properly. And so once you take that into account, how many people can you motivate to have that same level and share the load with you?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we've capped ourselves in terms of production.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, because and that was a question that a friend of mine, Andreas, had about, why is it that hand fit, 2011 seem to function and return and like everything feels better about that than something that was like a mass produced gun, So what do you think?
You're gonna sacrifice tolerances to make an assembly process.
Okay, so everything has to fit looser.
Assembly process is critical to mass manufacturing. If you're going to build 25,000 guns a year, then it needs to drop together. And I've realized that more and more, especially getting older and hurting my hand. That closer I can get it off the machine, much better I am through the process. Whether it's the ability to train somebody to do this difficult operation, or that they haven't grown up and they can't figure it out like I did.
Right.
But I had the time and I had the trial and error to be able to figure it out on my time.
Yeah.
But I'm more critical of others not figuring it out on a short amount of time. So it's a difficult balance when you get to where you can do it with your eyes closed. But I a lot to try to scale and make any bigger than where we are. And we've done it several times over just based on efficiency and manufacturing strength. But yeah, I'm very, very content with what we've accomplished thus far. And I like the creativity aspect of taking it further and coming up with new designs that are outside the realm of competition guns necessarily. But we're in a culture of sci-fi, video games. I love that side of the culture and creating what we see growing up. And a lot of times, I don't know if you've seen it, but a lot of 88s. I'm fascinated with Back to the Future.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody wants to know what the 88, but yeah, just the fascination with that. So.
Well, it's cool. You get to make what you want. That's and putting out what you think is cool. Like that's the best thing, right? And then
it's more fun that way.
Yeah. It stays engaging for sure.
Yes. Now having to make what somebody else tells you to make wore on me for years. So
I bet.
it was interesting to do the Zoom meetings, but sometimes it was daunting.
Yeah.
So I understood that there could be a balance. I didn't know the demand would be quite as ridiculous as it has been, but it's a thing to see. Obviously, this demand, producing what you want to produce is gratifying.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I mean, clearly the demand is there. It's very difficult to get in, into the order system and get an order in. So.
Yeah, well, I know that, and I want to be sympathetic to that, so I don't want to sound not sympathetic, but managing the volume is how we manage the culture here. Sure. If the volume is too great for us to manage each client appropriately, and I'm saying in terms of trying our best to deliver the product on time, trying our best to make sure we're prompt in response. Can't have clients at one time.
Yeah.
So managing that volume has been critical for our sanity, because you can only even with no marketing. I'm saying zero marketing. Photo studio behind us.
Yeah.
That's the extent of it.
And so your social presence.
Yeah, that's
pretty much it. Huh?
But yeah, word of mouth has done wonders. So once they see and feel, whether it's at a gun store or at the range with their friends, then they've been consistent. So as long as I'm consistent, like I think that's very critical of a restaurant. Any establishment that's going to be here for 30 years, as long as you produce the same thing, they'll come back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's proven, right? So the drop system has been around now for a year, you say?
A little over a year.
Yeah. So and it's still gangbusters.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun it's hard to keep up with sometimes, but we've learned a lot. how to maintain and keep the designs, I guess, relatively fresh. But yeah, the names and serial numbers are always part of the fun.
That's what you get with it.
Yeah, no, it's I always had to name the guns or give them something, but it's fun to theme the guns, theme the case to match.
Yeah, that was a nice touch. I liked how you guys, do the cases now with the print of the design and everything. That's cool.
Yep. No, and again, Chris is really second. I started doing the cases myself to start out with, using some of Chris's artwork on occasion, sometimes using stock artwork.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You want me to help you?" I'm like,
yeah, please.
To make me look stupid, dude.
Yeah. Oh man, that's good.
So yeah, no, they've evolved a lot. I have my father's cousin who will step in and help as well, and he's got an older classic theme approach, but like he did some of the more and I'd say a different older approach to them, just because they remind me of classic cars.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, B88 was his.
Okay.
A few different ones that I really enjoyed to have a different point of view, take on the case artwork, but
yeah,
nonetheless they're fun for all of us. But my requirement is always, whether it's skulls or whatever theme we do, it has to make my son smile.
There you go.
The kids have to be entertained by the thought.
Mm-hmm.
The response from them being a family heirloom of sorts, and the kids taking interest in dad's gun or mom's gun is cool for me, just because I want my son to take interest in my stuff.
Sure.
So I think it's that helps seal that relationship if they do want to take their kid to the range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, that Harley gun that you made, man, that one's
cool.
for that is such a cool gun. So don't mass produce that. That was a good one.
No, hand engraved. So that's
that's one of one.
Yeah, when people wonder, well, I thought my gun was unique to me. It's like, the only ones that are unique are really the hand engraved ones, just because there's so much time and effort to do one. But the otherwise, it's usually a CNC program, and we mix and match and come up with different patterns or color combinations, all with the same CNC. But it's very similar to a kitchen. You just you got all these ingredients, mix and match, and
do a little this now, a little this. Yeah.
So every but the pace can be substantial for most people to understand, or comprehend, creating the 5 new designs. But it's usually a mixture of the greatest hits.
Yeah. Well, one of these days, maybe if the podcast gets bigger, you'll have to maybe revisit one of my old designs so I can buy another one of my old gun.
So no, there's I hope we evolve further, and there's the goal obviously is to create a different platform eventually.
Mm-hmm.
The design's over 30 years old, obviously. So going back to 89 with the original 2011 or high cap 1911 design.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's one that's stayed around. Don't see many Paras anymore. Don't see many Caspians out there.
Oh, the 2011's the one.
The only one that stayed from that era. Surprisingly, that it's blown up like it has after the patent expired, and there's not many STIs out there anymore in existence. So they've stepped away from that side of competitive shooting. So, but the competitive shooting's changed a lot as well.
It has. And, I'm an old homer for open, but, and, limited optics where it's at really. That's kind of, that's been the new wave since, gosh, I don't know, past 3 or 4 years. I'm just a curmudgeon. I refuse.
But I think it's gotten ease of use for the competitor is what's increased.
Yeah.
So, and it used to be really bad when power factor was 170, 175 because equipment was trashed. Nobody made ammo for it, but it's gotten better.
Now you can just buy off the shelf ammo and go shoot a match. Yeah, yeah.
Now anybody's welcome to come make a fool of themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. No, and that's, you're talking about your one customer who's in racing that's getting an open gun. I was surprised, right? And what I tell my guys in the club, guys and girls, is, who are looking at an open gun, not just mine but other guys, right? And they'll say, oh, what's it like shooting open? And I always tell them, enjoy every other division first, right? Because once you get into open, that is a completely different thing. Because like you say, you have to be your own mechanic. You have to be your own, ammo manufacturer. You have to do all of these things that go around shooting open. But now with limited optics, shooting a 2011 with an optic minor, you don't have to do that. You can get in most of that thrill of shooting open without actually having to shoot major power factor, And if I weren't so addicted to major power factor, it'd be great, Yeah. And I think it's a great place for people to, if they're looking for a division, and high cap, that's a great one to go to.
It's easy.
Yeah,
it's easy, and it's open for all ages and body types. Doesn't matter how strong you are to shoot minor, really, or athletic. So, but yeah, I think you and I both know that there's a lot more time in the actual shooter and the movement to be gained. Usually, that they can learn at any level before they get to open division.
Yeah,
and that's where you have to be refined to actually compete.
Right.
So the want to get the last 5-10% out of open division. That's great, but yeah, don't start out as a D class open shooter unless you're just an ability to see in this is your bucket list.
Yeah, well,
but we run into those, of course.
Of course, yeah.
But that commonly ends up with a gun on the ground.
Yes, yeah.
So.
No, it's tough. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like people going into open that, like, if you're going in there to just enjoy the fact that you're shooting an open gun, you want to shoot an open gun, great. But you're right. It's like if you're going because you're buying a skill improvement, like, well, the open gun will reveal skills that actually you thought you may be good at that you're actually not as good as you thought, and it just opens more because the gun doesn't, the dot never moves. So if something's happening, it's on the shooter. Everything's on the shooter at that point. And if you're not moving, the reason why it's such a race division is just because you can run and shoot with the gun. You can do these things that if you had to keep the sights clean with a limited gun or a lim ops or anything like that, you have to take care of the gun stuff more in those divisions. You have to pay attention and respect recoil a little bit more. But in not open, you don't have to.
Well, I look at it as the top competitors gravitate towards open.
Sure.
So if you're a top competitor hiding in one of the other divisions, I love and take PCC out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no draw. There's so much differences and shooting three.
It's a different game.
Yeah, 3 at every target. Sometimes it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But the total match time should be gravitate the best shooters, and it's the same in racing. Do I want to go race Cup or do I want to play in Xfinity?
Right.
And you could easily compare those two. So when I say there's no room for errors, hopefully to shoot at the top, you're dealing with the top shooters in the world in open division. You're not competing with people that make those errors. They do this to perfection.
Correct.
So that's why I say that, and learning the stuff in the more basic category, and you'll learn it with people who are also learning. Hopefully in a more affordable way.
Yeah. You can learn it in a more affordable way. Yeah.
The ammunition and the upkeep on an open gun is just something that's a different level of commitment.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And I think in any form of motor racing, you're making that commitment. But at shooting, you can not quite make that mechanical commitment and shoot a fair amount with limited optics gun for sure.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So to kind of close it out, thinking about lim ops, people getting into 2011, right? Maybe they're new to the platform, new to your guns, new to, whatever. what are some tips, like, as far as, maybe what to look for in a good 2011? Actually, no, let me go a different way. Maintenance. That's going to be, people are going to ask me about maintenance. So how to keep these guns running, clean. What do you think, like, at a basic level, you know?
Up for us, there's, and what I used to do with the Infinity experience is, here's your kind of recipe for success. We've transformed that recipe into what we sell on the drop guns, called the shooter's package.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So these are the intervals of which we know this component can wear out.
Yeah.
This is the interval which is going to fail. And
Yeah.
so I
get it in before that failure point.
I use the term preventative maintenance.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I spend a small fortune to go to the race. Why do I want this inexpensive component to fail at the race?
Correct.
So preventative maintenance is always critical for me. There's no hour meters, obviously. There's no odometer on your gun. There's no round count being taken. So it's up to the shooter to kind of maintain that or keep the equipment. There's a couple ways to win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do top competitors shoot wore out guns at major matches? Usually not. Usually they're going to have a practice gun and a race gun. And the same approach with the go-karts. We have motors that we race with. We have carts that we race with.
I saw them, yeah.
And we have stuff we go practice with and just put hours on and do circles. So, but it's important to have both available to you so that you can compete at the top and have zero concern about equipment failure. But have the ability to go shoot 50,000 rounds a year if you have the budget and time,
right,
to accommodate that. But the shooter's package gets you basically to 50,000 rounds. I'm going to throw a sear at it every 20, 25,000 clicks. When I say clicks, that's dry fire. Because you're doing the same wear as it go and bang.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm going to throw a hammer at it every 50. I'm going to throw firing pins at it usually every 10 to 15.
Okay.
Recoil springs every 3,000. Main springs every 5 to 10,000, depending on how close to the edge you want to run. Primers obviously play a role.
Yeah.
They're got to set off the primer. That's what the main spring is there for.
Yeah.
But it's also there to retard the slide. Usually I don't need much.
You don't need to slow it that much.
To slow an open gun down much. So it's there to set off the primer is usually the first indication that we pushed it too far.
Sure.
But other than that, again,
I like you saying the sear 25,000 clicks. That's a very important one.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time I came in here, my older gun, and I hadn't replaced the sear at all. And I remember getting, what the heck? You still have this thing in there? And it's like, of course it's not doing what you wanted to do. So, I didn't realize that was a wear part in a sense.
Well, there's only it's a wear surface.
Sure.
So, and ours are unique shape and how we make them. Sell a lot of them for the staccato market and the prodigy market. It's the first thing the shooter touches when they grab the gun is the trigger.
Yeah.
You handed me that plastic gun that you play the video game with.
Oh, yeah.
But I felt the trigger and I was like, oh, this is lame.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing I feel when I feel a gun is the trigger. And if any other brands need assistance in that, I think our parts do wonders there. So that's been a great transition for us, is making parts for a few other brands and making them drop in. So I make a sear that's specific to these brands. Staccato sear, a prodigy sear, so it works with factory safety.
Are you going to go with the? There's another one, right? Sig just came out with one, and Kimber, I think, just came out with one.
Yep. I've looked at Kimber had their in between thing that I got one of those expensive thing.
Okay.
And I haven't got one of the new 2011 yet, but yeah, we're constantly trying to. Just got one of the Glock mag HDs.
Okay.
So played with that. But yeah, constantly looking at what they're doing. Not that I think all of them are sane, right-minded in their approach to it. But the market's strange, and my market is very different from theirs.
True.
In terms of who's looking at what. But some of the designs are innovative. Some of them are looking in the back of my head thinking I should have done this yesterday.
Yeah.
So there's a huge room for improvement from what we're doing today. But I think it's a different direction than some of these other companies are pushing necessarily with the change to the magazine type.
Yeah. How much does that play into it? I mean, as far as, going away from the traditional metal tube, STI, SV tube, changing the magazine.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, everybody's a design kind of starts around the magazine and then design around it.
Oh, okay.
So, the HD did something unique in the way it is much wider than the original magazines. They went narrower already. They went to the CZ 9mm magazine. So it's unique to see it done wider, but several design changes, not necessarily for the better to accommodate the wide mag.
Got it.
But yeah, it goes bang. So they can maintain the basics to the 1911 design, the reliability. They did well, but yeah, it's a very different customer base, very different approach,
different market.
Yeah, and I don't think it's either one's a great gun as a competition gun, because I don't think you're going to get the round count that we discussed here today.
Right.
So if you put that kind of round count through some of these guns, you're going to find it's similar to a Glock in terms of wear characteristics. Aluminum frame carry gun, going to wear wear poorly, or if you even get into the competition realm of things, you get to 50,000 rounds on some of these components, they aren't made for that.
Right.
They aren't getting used like that in general consumers.
Certainly. Yeah. We got general consumers don't. Yeah.
They don't. Yeah.
They don't put.
They don't have presses, reloading presses.
Exactly. Yeah. No. I mean, we talk about that at the range all the time. It's like the general shooter, maybe puts 200 or 300 rounds down the range total a year. And a lot of, and if they have a really high end 2011 like yours, it's probably seeing less. you know. But those staccatos, it may be the same thing where a lot of folks are buying them and kind of they'll zero their optic 50 rounds or whatever, and then they'll see the safe for the next 6 months.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said to just the marketplace and how many people actually use the tools that they buy. But yeah, I approach it differently just because whether they use it or not, I want it to perform like an F1 car. But yeah, be as antique and pristine as something that they would call a family heirloom.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Brandon, dude, thank you for all of this. Is there anything else you want to say to the crew?
Oh, I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah.
So thank you for making it happen. But
thanks
everybody for the opportunity to build what we do. Lots of support, lots of friends and family out there that have treated us very well over the years to make this project or make this possible. So it's a lot of love that we put into what we do. But I think it shows who we are. An example of our pride of workmanship, and it's not something that comes easy. So you can't fake
put
it.
The hours in, yeah.
Can't fake it. Very good.
Well, thank you. This is awesome.